Good evening, everyone. This is Tracia Bolin, and we are doing a fashion-worthy interview tonight with Zoe Belle Lowe, and she is the owner of the newly released clothing line, Zoe Belle The Collection. And she's 19 years old from Wythe County and in Virginia, where she has grown up as a small town girl. She was competing in pageants as a preteen and a teen, and she found that she couldn't find attire that felt age appropriate and fashion forward. So she started making her own interview and appearance outfits when she was 13 years old. It's pretty fantastic. I was actually one of Zoe's pageant judges for a pageant several years back, and it was very impressive for a young lady to come out with her own interview outfit she made by hand, I must say. I really wanted her to bring her on today to let her talk a little bit about all her accomplishments and some things she's done in the fashion world, especially making her own clothing line, which is very exciting. And Zoe, are you on there?
Yes, I am. I'm right here.
So welcome. And so Zoe, tell
Hello. Thank y'all for having me.
absolutely. You are make quite an impression. You've done a great work with your own clothing line, and you just had your launch this weekend.
Yes, I did. So it was at Reflections in Harrisonburg, and I was so happy that they would have me and for my first launch being there at a fashion show. And we had so many people come to it, and we had a great time. And I had a lot of orders, and it was a big launch. And I didn't think that it would get that much attention, but I'm super excited for it.
So tell us about your journey. How did you get from, just starting in and doing that to wanting to make your own fashion line and coming to where you are now?
Okay, so whenever I was 13, kind of right at that preteen age, you start your interview, and I'll tell you, I was horrible at pageant interviews. And I think one thing that had to do with that is because I wasn't confident in what I was wearing. I always had a really big idea of what I wanted to wear, and I never really could find it. So everything I tried on was either too young and I looked like a baby, and I felt like I was, I'm like, I'm too old for this, I'm too cool for this. And then, and some other things I would try on and it was too mature and I felt kind of cool in it, but my mom was like, you cannot wear that. So my aunt actually, she used to make my pageant dresses and so my pageant gowns. And so she's like, well, let's just make your own pageant interview. And so that's how it started. I learned how to sew on a Barbie dream or a Barbie sewing machine, like that came out of like a little toy box.
Wow.
So I actually have some pictures. Yeah, so I was super excited and super blessed that I had an aunt that knew how to sew and who kind of taught me and would guide me. So and whenever I started making them, people in the pageant world were like, "Hey, when are you going to sell that?" And I was like, "Well, I kind of made it, so I kind of wanted to keep it." And that's kind of whenever it took interest. It was like, "Well, cool. Like I could kind of start making stuff for other people." And then I thought I was going to do it and on an individual level. And then I met Stephen Urich. He's a gown designer. He's had 33 Miss Americas. I didn't know who he was whenever I first met him, which is kind of funny because he's such a big designer.
Yeah.
But my aunt was like freaking out. She was like, "You understand who this is?" And I totally didn't know. And then once I started researching him, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then since he was a fashion designer, I showed him the stuff that I had made. It was like, look, isn't this cool? And he was like, you're really good at this. And so
Fantastic.
after that was my junior year of high school. And then after he was like, well, after you graduate, just come up here and live with us. And I wanted to give you an internship and teach you the fashion world because I think you're good at this and you can have fashion line. So that's kind of how everything started going to play. And then here's my fashion line now. So it's
That's
exciting, and
fantastic.
I definitely not something that yes, I didn't know my life would turn in that direction, but I'm super happy it has. So,
So if somebody wanted to get online and look at some of your fashion wear and some of the designs that you have, how would they get in touch with you or what website would they go to?
okay, so we do have a website, and that's under construction right now. So this past weekend, I have ambassadors, and we call them Belle Babes. And this is the first time we actually got to like come together. And so they took pictures. We took catalog shoots
Oh,
this
wow.
weekend while they were in the fashion show and while we had them. So in the next few weeks, everything will start being posted, and of course on my social medias. My social media on Instagram is just Zoe Belle The Collection. My Facebook is Zoe Belle hyphen The Collection, and my personal is just Zoe Belle, and then Zoe Belle Low on Facebook. So you can find me anywhere. And my website, once everything is posted, it has retailers, because we're going to try to go through retailers, because we want to benefit stores while we're also benefiting us. So you'll be able to find retailers on there. Right now we have I have one in Whitfield who she's just kind of trying to start up her store, so some things are going through her, but also Reflections is the really big one right now. So
Yes.
hopefully we get more. We're kind of focusing on the East Coast, but we're
Wonderful.
definitely wanting to branch out, but we're also trying to remember not to get too big right now. So,
That is very
but I'm
exciting.
excited, and you can contact me, and yes.
So you've one of the things that you said that inspired you to do this whole line was maybe when you started your path with the pageantry. How many titles have you won now through the pageant world?
Well, I started pageants. I was entered in my first pageant before I was born. As soon as my mom found out I was a girl, like that was my destiny, and I ended up just loving it. So the Tiny Miss system, I've held I think 9 or 10 titles through that
Wow.
system. It's a great system in Virginia, and just
Yeah.
mostly it's a good stepping stone to Miss America and the bigger pageants. I've held multiple titles. I've held 3 titles going to Miss Virginia's Outstanding Teen, and I got fourth runner-up, which is top 5, 2 years in a row, which was great. And
Wonderful.
I competed at Miss School America, Miss Virginia Junior High, and I made top 15. That was super exciting. And
Yes.
that was in one that I actually made. That was actually in the second one that I made, and it was. If you look on my Facebook, it's yellow and it has a bow in the middle. You probably could find it. Um, that was the second one I made, and we put it in the fashion show just because it's something super cool, and it brought back memories and kind of where we had started from. And then
Exactly.
I've competed in. I got top 3 at Miss Virginia Teen USA, and I'm the current title holder state. I'm Miss Commonwealth at the America's International Miss right now. So big
Wow.
future, and have done a lot. So
Your future is
yes.
definitely bright, girl. Definitely bright. Very impressive. That is great accomplishments for sure. So where do you see you going in the future? Where is Zoe going from here? I know you're starting this clothing line, but where do you see yourself? What is the ultimate goal? What do you think? What do you see down the road?
Well, I think it's important not just for us East Coast girls. I think that later, if in about 5 years, maybe even like starting to branch out into, our Western and our California
Mm,
areas. I think that this line could be really big. Um, I mean, it means so much to me. That's why I think it can be so big. But I think a lot of girls really need it. There's a hole in the market for preteen interview business wear,
hmm.
and I just want to make girls feel empowered. I know whenever I made my own outfits that I walked in there and said what I wanted to say and felt super good about everything. And so that's what I want girls to feel, because if you've met girls in the pageant world, they are doing so, like their platforms and their service projects, they're doing so much and so much
It's true.
good. And I definitely want them to feel empowered and feel confident while they're talking to their judges, and also feel confident while they're interviewing for their dream jobs, because most of these
Yeah.
girls put their entire life into winning Miss High School America, Miss Teen USA, into like really big titles, and I want them to feel confident in who they are. So
Absolutely. Well, part of the Fashion Worthy project is, partnering with Runway to Life, and they do a lot to try to help people with suicide awareness and to combat that. Do you have any message of hope and inspiration to maybe somebody who has given up hope, or maybe doesn't see you know, a bright light for their future? I mean, with you shining so bright, is there something that you could give words of encouragement and reach out to somebody maybe who's feeling that way?
Definitely. Um, I mean, just find who you are, be true to who you are. Try not to turn yourself into someone that you think people are going to accept. Just the people, if you are yourself, the people who accept you will come to you. And definitely just find who you're supposed to be in this world. Find what your purpose is, because I found my purpose, and so I think everyone has a purpose, even if it's something super small or something as big as creating an entire fashion line.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
Everyone deserves a purpose, and just, I mean, if you have any doubts, reach out to someone,
That's very good words
because
of
if
encouragement.
not, then you're
Well, you're definitely a bright light, Zoe, and we really appreciate you and coming on here. I wanted to know, you've had so many different things you've been involved with over the years. Is there anything else you'd like to share that we don't know about Zoe Belle?
Um, well, it's all about teaching young girls on how to protect themselves and respect themselves and to keep their friends safe. Um, have created 5 chapters in high schools around my area, which is huge. And now, since those 5 chapters have started, even more, a lot of schools in the Southwest have developed to help save the next girl chapter, which is great because that means the word of protecting yourself and ways to protect yourself, which are, you know, on a daily basis, we could be passing someone who could abduct us the next day or the next week. So, using those safety tactics that help save the next girl provides are very important, mostly with these girls going into college and moving out on their own.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That is
that's what
that.
my platform is, and that's what I'm super passionate about.
So your
So,
platform,
yes, and
what have you done with
I've
that?
done
With
that.
yeah, stepping out in that platform. You were saying that you were involved with helping other girls learn safety measures on protecting themselves.
Yeah. So, uh, year of 2014, no, 2016, I got my year confused. Um, I traveled around the state of Virginia and some in North Carolina to to teach the word of help save the next girl and teach safety tactics like always keeping your cell phone with you,
Mm,
telling your friend where you're going. Don't let your friend leave somewhere that you don't know where they're going. Um, I shared a lot of those, a huge list of um, safety tactics to dance studios. So I'm a dancer, so I went to the dance studios that I knew, um, to share this information, because it's important, mostly whenever girls are not thinking, whenever they first start driving, they want to drive wherever to themselves, and then they can end up in a bad situation, and that's what help save the next girl is for. So
absolutely. You just never know when you're going to need something like that. You know, like if somebody grabs you a certain way, you know, and how to handle that makes a big difference. That is fantastic that you're doing that to help girls out there. That is wonderful. Yeah, and so like right now, like seems like that you've been involved with all these different things. So I know I met your mom. She seems like such a big help to you. She's what an inspiration and a sweet, you know, to be helpful. How does she feel about you taking on this big project? She's on board.
Absolutely. Whenever I first went for it, she was kind of like, make sure that you have a backup plan, and just doing kind of the mom thing, like making sure that I have everything in line. Um, but since my fashion show, she cried the entire time,
Oh,
like just can't
yeah,
believe it's happening for me. And so she's definitely been supportive. She's like, anything you need, if you need
yeah.
whatever, you can have it.
I
So
loved when you said,
she's definitely been a big support.
I love when you said that it's like Christmas in here the day that you were introducing your line. When I saw you online, you're like, it's like Christmas time to me. It's such an inspiration. You were so, that was just so inspirational. So many that you were so excited at this new start of your launch. And I was really happy for you. So I definitely wanted to bring you on board and do a fashion worthy interview with you today. So tell me again how everybody can get in touch with you and how they can find you. Are you on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, right? You said, and you said under Zoe
I
Belle.
am. I'm on. Yes. So my Facebook is just Zoe Belle Low, which is just ZoeBelleLowe. That is my personal Facebook, and then my collection Facebook page is just it's Zoe Belle, that same way you spell it, and then hyphen the collection. That's how updates will be posted. My Instagram is let me look at it. I forgot what it was. Um, so my personal Instagram, which you can still contact me through, we will, I'll take either way. It's underscore ZO and then Bell underscore. And then my personal or my business Instagram is just Zoe Belle Collection is what it is. Zoe Belle Collection. So, and you can contact me through all of those, and we'll get you situated. I'm super excited to meet everyone and see what this whole page is about. I didn't even know until you told me about it, and I was super excited. And thank you for inviting me and bringing me on and being so supportive. Thank you.
Absolutely, Zoe. I'm thrilled and I'm so excited for you. And anybody who gets a chance, please go on and check out Zoe's new collection. And we're going to see some big things from her. It's probably going to be launched everywhere, so you'll probably get one of her designs yourself. And we'd love to see her on the Runway to Life fashion runway someday. That would be great too. So please tune in and find Zoe and look her up. And thank you again, Zoe, for spending your time today and sharing a little bit about your story and your clothing line. So everybody come check her out. You take care. Thanks, Zoe. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.